Hi, this is Jim Reavis, CEO of Cloud Security Alliance, and I'm here to welcome you to CSA's Non-Human Identity Summit 2025. I am real excited about this particular event, and identity's always been not only a tough challenge for a lot of reasons, but something that provides some of the most benefit to organizations and cybersecurity programs when they really master the topic well, when they really understand it and have the right solutions in place. And for this event, the 2 days, we really have people that go deep into identity from a lot of different types of organizations, including some of the companies that create some of the most fundamental technologies to help you deal with identities and non-human identities. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over a lot of my thoughts here, but I did want to give you just a few what I call points to ponder on this. If you might have different reasons why you're here and interested in this topic, it certainly seems as though we've got really strong attendance for it. But here are some things I thought that are really important, and why non-human identities really matter is that you might think it's sort of forgotten or a second class identity entity compared to the people. We think about people and their identities and who are the people that have access to our systems, and we want our staff to have a certain amount of access, our contractors, consultants, partners to have different levels of access. And really, I've seen different studies, but it makes sense from what I've seen from several of them that non-human identities are at 10x the number of human identities. And you think about all of the different processes, containers, storage buckets, any sort of maybe server-based instantiation that might only last milliseconds, is that they all have identities. They need identities. Different applications need identities. And so it's really important that we understand that and that we really sort of elevate those to being that the same level of importance to the people that we have, because they both can provide the same sorts of risks, present the same risks and the same issues that are being involved. So you just have so many of those non-human identities. And if you look at the identity stores in your organization, it'd probably be a good question to see, does it seem like they're very well represented? We see this in a lot of different areas when people are thinking about assets in their company, and they got their physical assets, but all the digital, very ephemeral assets, are they reflected there as fully as they should be? So that's one thing to think about. Second thing I would say is that we see NHIs as sort of this new frontier of zero trust. So zero trust is something that we are very bullish on at Cloud Security Alliance. It's one of the 3 pillars of the organization besides cloud and AI. And we think it's been like a very well articulated strategy for how you protect strategic assets in an organization. But again, a lot of people thinking about how they implement that, they think about the important assets, and then they think about like who's accessing those things. And we really got to think about what's any sort of identity entity that can be able to have access, and really having robust, strong identities and multi-factor, but even thinking beyond that with NHIs. That's really how we're going to have this very identity-centric way of protecting information and assets, which really, it turns the original model of the internet sort of on its head, where it was really get access to the whole internet thing, find out what you can get access to based on your identity, to really say, okay, what's your identity? Okay, based on your identity, then we're going to present those parts of the internet that you can see. So I think that's kind of where we're going. So third point I wanted you to just think about was that NHIs, they are this blind spot that has manifested itself in several different very notable breaches, that it was these types of machine identities that weren't really associated with people that got missed in different types of audits or vulnerability assessments. And that's where the smart hackers sort of understand that these are building blocks for a lot of the technology rollout, the automation that's there, that's present. And so they know to look for these things. And so finding those sorts of things, the key matter related to it, and then walking through the organization to find what you have access to has been a key MO. And I think that that's going to continue to be a favored modus operandi of the hacker element. And so it's really important that this is not in your overall IAM architecture strategy, that NHIs are not a blind spot as they have been. And then again, particularly in how you're doing like threat modeling and risk assessments. And if you are not an AIM sort of expert and that's not your full role, that you understand that, hey, I've got to really consult that part of the team to really understand that we're thinking about how those things can be accessed, exploited, and cause other types of damage within the organization. So the fourth point to ponder, which is a big one for all the work I'm doing and thinking about, is how this fits into AI and automation. So AI, we know it's huge wave. No matter where you are in your organization on the adoption and maturity level, you know it's coming and you know it's a big deal. And for lots of organizations I talk to, they are all in. They have so many things implemented. And now they're starting to get into agentic. And by the way, we have an agentic summit coming August 19th. We're going to really focus on agentic AI. But this autonomy that we are allowing to get the productivity, so the autonomy and the automation with things like agents, is really going to create a lot of issues with if they are acting beyond what their scope should be, not configured properly. And we need to understand how to control that, manage it, how to go back and audit it. And the NHI element and having that very well sort of orchestrated and implemented and with the right level of controls around it become critically important. So, and I think this is going to grow into sort of the number one use case that is going to create a lot more interest in making sure you're investing in the right NHI enabling technology infrastructure. So Cloud Security Alliance, we think this is a very important area. We think of this as plumbing essentially for our three pillars of, again, cloud, AI, and zero trust. Non-human identity and identity writ large are just plumbing to make all of those things happen, including other areas we may go in the future, quantum, which we already are, but bringing that up to the front, and robotics and other areas like that. So we've incorporated this into several different working groups. We got a lot of different white papers that we've worked on that have referenced this. We're going to do a lot more there because we think this is just such an important area that's going to solve a lot of other problems. In a world where we don't know what's real and what's fake, it's certainly going to be more and more important for us to have this proof of provenance of where something came from, bill of materials, all of those sort of trails that tell us where this came from, who made it, who owns it, who modified it. And this is going to be just a key part of it, particularly as we try to scale up our technology more and more with automation, but to provide that true authenticity. So your call to action, I think, is to get involved and go get involved in our different research working groups. Certainly we have identity, and then we find it is, again, something that gets integrated into a lot of the other working groups that we have out there. So we hope you get involved with it. We hope you learn more about the topic here at this conference. We hope you get a lot of your questions answered. Please use your chat and go connect with the experts that we have here and take away what you need to really help you in your job and your career, but also give back to the community and get involved in our working groups as well. So with that, I hope you have a great event. Feel free to ping me. My email address is there. If there's anything you would like to follow up with, any questions, anything where we could do better, or any other topic you'd like to see covered. Thank you.